Hello and welcome back to my crochet channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable amigurumi of Eeyore the donkey. I hope you like this tutorial and find it helpful as you create your own lovable gloomy donkey. So if you do like it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and of course, subscribe for more videos like this one. Now let's get started. So starting with a size 3.5mm hook, start by making 19 chains. And once you have your chains, single crochet into the second chain from the hook and into each chain across. At the end of the row, turn your work. For row 2, chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch across to the end and turn. In row 3, you're going to start with a chain 1. Single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 14 stitches. Increase in the next stitch, and single crochet in the last stitch, for a total of 20 stitches at the end of the row. Row 4, you're going to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch across. In row 5, you're going to do another increase. So start with a chain 1, increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 18 stitches, and end with an increase in the last stitch for a total of 22 stitches. You'll notice my tension is tight because this is amigurumi and we're looking for a dense fabric that will hold the stuffing inside. But I'm still easily able to insert the hook and work through the stitches without getting a cramp in my hand. Keep this in mind as you make your amigurumi. You want to be able to finish it without needing painkillers, right? In row 6, chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch across. In row 7, you're going to start with a chain 1, then increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 20 stitches, and you're going to end with an increase in the last stitch for a total of 24 stitches at the end of the row. And as you can guess, for the next 2 rows, you'll be alternating between rows of increasing in the first and last stitch and rows of working single crochet across without increasing. So for row 8, you'll single crochet across, and in row 9, you'll increase and end with 24 stitches. Then for rows 10 to 12, you'll just single crochet across without increasing. So pause video and I'll see you back for row 13. Okay, so here's a piece so far after completing up to row 12. Row 13 is a decrease row, so you're going to start with a chain 1, single crochet in the next 11 stitches, decrease twice in the center, then single crochet in the next 11 stitches, and at the end you'll have 24 stitches. Then for rows 14 and 15, you'll just single crochet across without increasing or decreasing. You'll also notice I've added a stitch marker to my work, and that's to keep track of my rows, which I highly recommend you do, so you can keep your sanity as you work. Alright, row 15 is done, and for row 16, you're going to increase. So chain 1, increase in the first stitch, then single crochet in the next 22 stitches, and end with an increase in the last stitch for a total of 26 stitches at the end of the row. Then for rows 17 to 20, single crochet in each stitch without increasing. Row 21 will be a decrease row. Start with a chain 1, then single crochet in the first stitch, make a decrease, single crochet in the next 20 stitches, decrease again, and end with a single crochet in the last stitch for a total of 24 stitches at the end of the row. Now for row 22, you guessed it, single crochet across without decreases or increases. The next row, row 23, is going to create a little curve in the back. Start with a chain 1, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, make a decrease, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, make another decrease, single crochet in the next stitch, decrease twice, single crochet in the next stitch, decrease, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, decrease again, single crochet in the remaining stitches for a total of 18 stitches at the end of the row. In row 24, you're going to decrease again, so start with a chain 1, and you're going to repeat the following. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then decrease, so you'll repeat that sequence, and end the row by working a single crochet in the last 2 stitches. You'll have a total of 14 stitches at the end of the row. In row 25, start with a chain 1, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then decrease, single crochet in the next stitch, decrease twice, single crochet in the next stitch, decrease, and end the row with a single crochet in the last 2 stitches for a total of 10 stitches at the end of the row. And now we come to the final row, row 26. You will chain 1, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, decrease twice, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and you'll end the row with a total of 8 stitches. Now you can cut your yarn, making sure to leave a long tail for sewing, but you might need a bit extra yarn when it's actually time to sew. So working with a 3.5mm hook, start by making a chain of 11. Once you have your chains, single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across to the end, and you should have 10 stitches. Turn your work at the end of the row. Also, I suggest having a stitch marker handy to keep track of your rows, especially for the work even or the single crochet across rows. For row 2, you'll start with a chain 1 and then single crochet in each stitch across. Row 3 will be the first increase row. So start with a chain 1, then single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Increase in the next stitch, and end the row by making a single crochet in the last stitch for a total of 12 stitches at the end of the row. In row 4, you're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. Next, in row 5, chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. make a decrease twice, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, increase in the next stitch, and finish the row by making a single crochet in the last stitch. You'll have 12 stitches at the end of the row. Row 6. Start with a chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 8 stitches. Increase in the next stitch, and end the row with a single crochet in the last stitch for a total of 14 stitches at the end of the row. For row 7 to 11, you're going to single crochet across without increasing, so feel free to pause the video and I will see you back here at the start of row 12. Alright, here's our piece after working up to row 11. For row 12, chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 10 stitches, then increase in the next stitch and end with a single crochet in the last stitch, and that is a total of 16 stitches. And once again, you'll work the next few rows 13 to 16 without making increases. So work on that and I'll see you at the start of row 17. Alright, row 17 is going to be a decrease row. So you'll start with a chain 1, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, decrease twice, then single crochet in the remaining 6 stitches for a total of 14 stitches at the end of the row. For rows 18 to 20, you'll single crochet in each stitch across, so again, feel free to pause and I'll see you at the start of row 21. Okay, it's the last row of this piece and you're going to start with a chain 1, then decrease, single crochet in the next 10 stitches, and end the row with a decrease for a total of 12 stitches at the end of the row. And now you can cut your yarn and weave in the ends.
So pieces 1 and 2 are done and will form the main body for this amigurumi donkey. But before joining the parts, there's a matter of the gap in the bottom of piece number 2. So you're going to use a yarn needle, as I'm doing here, to sew that together. Now you're going to join the 2 pieces together. Start by deciding which is going to be the wrong and right side, and make sure the right sides are facing each other so that when you flip the pieces inside out, the stitches won't be as visible. Then you're going to hold body piece 1 with the first row at the top, line it up with body piece 2, again the first row at the top. I like to use stitch markers and clips to hold the pieces in place as I sew, but you can use safety pins, straight pins, or however you hold your pieces together. You want to make sure the pieces are aligned evenly before you start sewing. When your pieces are prepped, grab your yarn needle and start stitching. I'm using a whip stitch to sew the seams together. So just sew along the bottom and then sew on either side of the body until you reach the neck. Remember to keep the neck open. And of course, remember to tie a knot to secure your stitches. Once you've got the body stitched together, flip it inside out. Weave in any ends if needed. The next step to complete the main body is to create the neck. For the neck, you'll be using a 3.5mm hook and the same yarn color you used for piece 2. In my case, it's the dark gray color. Pick up a single crochet in the 3rd stitch from row 1 of body piece 2, which is the back of the body. You can either pull up a loop or use a standing stitch as I'm doing here. Then single crochet around in each space for a total of 28 stitches. Once you've stitched around, do not turn your work or slip stitch to join. You're going to continue working right into the next stitch. So in round 2, do not make a starting chain. You're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then decrease, And you'll repeat that sequence around and end with a single crochet in the remaining 2 stitches. And at the end of the round, again, do not turn. In round 3, single crochet into the next 12 stitches along the back. Then cut your yarn and leave a long tail, leaving the remaining stitches unworked. At this point, you can start to add stuffing, but you might want to wait until you've attached the arms and legs.
The next part of this Amigurumi crochet tutorial is to make the arms and legs. Although, because this is a donkey, they're all technically legs, I guess. But for the sake of simplicity, we'll call the bottom limbs legs and the top limbs arms. You'll start with the legs or the bottom limbs, and of course, make 2 of these. Using a size 3.5mm hook, start round 1 by making 4 chains. Then make 2 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, single crochet in the next chain, then make 3 single crochet in the last chain. And without turning, continue working stitches on the bottom of the foundation chain. So in the foundation chain spaces, work a single crochet in the next space and 2 single crochet in the last space. You'll have a total of 9 stitches. The limbs are all worked in continuous spiral rounds, so you won't be slip stitching or turning at the end of the round. In the next round, single crochet in each stitch around. In round 3, you're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches, increase in the next stitch, and you'll repeat that sequence 3 times around for a total of 12 stitches. For rounds 4 to 6, you're just going to single crochet in each stitch around. Next, in round 7, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then increase in the next stitch, and you'll repeat that sequence 4 times around for a total of 16 stitches. For rounds 8 to 10, single crochet in each stitch around, and at the end of round 10, cut your yarn and leave a long tail for sewing. Next, you'll work on the arms or the top limbs, and again, make 2 of these. For the arms, you'll be using a 3mm crochet hook, and you're going to repeat the leg instructions from rounds 1 to 3. Then for rounds 4 to 13, you'll just single crochet in each stitch around, and at the end of round 14, you'll cut the yarn and leave a long tail for sewing. In this next part of the pattern, you're going to create the head using a 3.5mm hook and the same yarn as the main body. In my case, it's the dark gray yarn. Start by making 6 single crochet in a magic ring. In the next round, round 2, make an increase in each stitch around for a total of 12 stitches. Round 3, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet into the next stitch, and repeat that sequence 6 times around for a total of 18 stitches.
Round 4, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and repeat that 6 times around for a total of 24 stitches. For rounds 5 to 9, you'll single crochet in each stitch around. Round 10, increase in the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 11 stitches, and you'll do this twice for a total of 26 stitches. In the last stitch of round 10, you're going to switch the yarn color. In my case, I'm using a dusty lilac shade for the nose and the mouth portion of the head. Continuing on to round 11, you're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches, increase in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 12 stitches, increase in the next stitch, and single crochet in the next 5 stitches for a total of 28 stitches. And just a note that at the end of round 11 or 12, you can sew on the button eyes, or you can always sew them on later, but I find it easier to do this before stuffing and closing. If you're using safety eyes, you should definitely attach them now, as I am doing. Next, in round 12, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase into the next stitch, single crochet in the next 13 stitches, increase in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 8 stitches for a total of 30 stitches. In round 13, it's another increase round, and this time we'll be increasing to 36. So to do this, increase in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and repeat that 6 times. As an extra step to make sure the eyes stay secure, I'm using a bit of hot glue to keep them in place. If you are using hot glue, make sure it's completely dry before moving on to the next round. For rounds 14 and 15, you'll single crochet in each stitch around. Next, you're going to start the decrease rounds. So round 16, decrease, then single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and repeat that 6 times for a total of 30 stitches. In round 17, decrease, then single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and you'll repeat that sequence 6 times for a total of 24 stitches. And in round 18, decrease, then single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and repeat that 6 times for a total of 18 stitches. At this point, you'll want to start adding the stuffing and continue to add stuffing as you continue to crochet. In round 19, you're going to single crochet in each stitch around. Round 20, decrease, then single crochet in the next stitch and repeat that 6 times for a total of 12 stitches. Lastly, in round 21, decrease 6 times for a total of 6 stitches.
cut the yarn and sew the opening shut. Okay, let's add a little smile to this amigurumi. You're going to need a bit of black embroidery thread and a needle to stitch on the mouth. Keep whatever kind of smile you like and place it where you think it's best. When I'm embroidering smiles, I like to insert the needle in a spot that's slightly away from where the smile will be to make sure that I leave a long enough tail that I can hide later on. Once you've inserted the needle, pull it up in the spot where you want the smile to start. Then insert the needle a little lower and at an angle to start shaping the smile. You want to just insert the needle through the yarn strands. You don't want to go all the way inside the head, and don't worry about the gap, you'll get to that in a bit. Then just repeat that until you reach the other side of the smile. Again, you can make the smile as wide or narrow or small or big as you like. Now you're going to flip the head upside down and insert the needle not directly into the head, but into the embroidered stitches. And you'll do this until you reach the start of the smile. To finish, insert the needle back where you started to meet the thread tail. Tie a knot to secure it, then use a crochet hook or use the embroidery needle to pull the ends inside the head and trim the excess thread. Now this amigurumi is starting to take shape. Alright, now to make the ears. Using the same yarn color as the main body, in my case this is the dark gray color, and a 3.5mm crochet hook, you're going to start by making a chain of 13. Then single crochet in the second chain from the hook and into the next 2 chains. Then half double crochet in the next 2 chains. Work 2 double crochet in the next chain. Double crochet into the next chain. Half double crochet in the next 2 chains. Single crochet in the next chain and slip stitch into the next 2 chains. Chain 1, and don't turn your work. You're going to continue to work into the bottom of the foundation chain. You're going to slip stitch into the next 2 spaces, single crochet into the next space, half double crochet in the next 2 spaces, double crochet in the next 2 spaces, half double crochet in the next 2 spaces, and finish with a single crochet into the last 3 spaces. Cut the yarn and leave a tail for sewing. And of course, we need to make 2 of these. Now with the ears all done, you're going to use a yarn needle to sew the ears onto the top of the head.
I like to use straight pins to keep the ears in place while I sew them on, and it also helps me to play around with the placement before I start to sew things into place. Next up is the hair. You can use a similar weight of yarn as the body or a lighter weight yarn. For this tutorial, I went for a lightweight category 3 yarn to make the hair. And when it comes to hair, you can either attach the hair strands with a small hook directly into the amigurumi head, which I will show you now, or you can make a hair cap, which I will show you later. But if you are working directly into the head, you would just insert the hook wherever you want to start adding hair, loop the yarn onto the hook and pull it through just enough to be able to pull the loose ends through the loop. Then just tighten it and repeat. But for this amigurumi, I'm going to make a hair cap. So using the lightweight yarn and a 2mm hook, make 9 single crochet into a magic ring. In the second round, you can make a simple circle and just make an increase in each stitch, or you can make it more oval shaped, and to do that, you would start with 3 single crochet into the next stitch, then single crochet in the next 4 stitches, three single crochet into the next stitch, and single crochet into the remaining 3 stitches for a total of 13 stitches. In round 3, single crochet into the next stitch, increase in the next stitch, and that's a 2 single crochet increase, not 3, single crochet into the next 6 stitches, increase into the next stitch, again 2 single crochet increase, not 3, and single crochet in the remaining 4 stitches. And at this point, you want to make sure that the cap is a good size. You don't want it to be too big or too small. And if you're happy with the size, then cut the yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing. Now you're going to cut a whole bunch of strands to make the hair. The number of strands all depends on how much hair you want your amigurumi to have. And the length of the strands isn't too important. You're going to be trimming them after anyway, but just make sure you're able to easily loop them through the hair cap with a hook. Then you can start looping hair and tying the strands with a knot to make sure they don't come loose. Now this particular step can be a little time consuming, so I recommend getting comfy, maybe get yourself a drink, and sit back with your favorite series or movie and just have fun. Once you've got the hair strands attached to the hair cap, it's time to sew it onto the head, and then trim it down. But first, I'm using a small hair elastic to gather the hair while I sew it, just in case I accidentally sew the strands. And again, I'm using straight pins to hold the cap in place while I sew, using an embroidery needle to give me a bit more precision in my stitches. With the hair sewn into place, grab a pair of scissors and give your amigurumi a haircut. The length is up to you, just make sure you don't cut it too short or your strands will fall out. So if you find that you're not crazy about the embroidered smile, like me, you can always try again. I used a seam ripper to very carefully cut the thread and pull out the strands. And this time I decided, instead of using embroidery thread, to use the same lightweight black yarn that I used for the hair. And I used an embroidery needle to stitch the smile back. But this time I placed it a little bit lower down on the head. I don't know why, I just thought the original placement wasn't cute enough for me. And then when I was pulling the yarn ends into the head, this happened. You can probably imagine my shock and horror, but thankfully I was able to bend the hook back into shape. So just be careful with your hooks. Okay, I've got the body, the limbs, the head, so that means it's time to assemble this cute amigurumi. Add a little stuffing to the limbs, not too much, just enough to give them some shape. Then you'll want to pin down the legs at the bottom and sew them on with a yarn needle. It's a good idea to use pins so you can play around with the placement. I like having the legs flush with the base so that they help support the body and allow it to sit on its own without tipping over. When sewing the arms to the body, again, use pins to see where you want them to go. I like to attach them slightly at an angle, flat against the sides of the body, but you can sew them at a different angle so they're pointing forward or straight down, or you can even sew them closer to the front of the body. When you attach the head, you want to place it at an angle against the neck so that the main body colors meet in the back. Play around with the position to your liking, then use a needle to sew it into place. Add stuffing if needed, just to give the body and the neck a bit more structure. This amigurumi donkey wouldn't be complete without a tail. Using the same color as the main body, leaving a long starting strand of yarn, chain 13. Cut your yarn, leaving about an inch that you can knot and fray to give it a bit more of a hair-like appearance. Finish off the tail and sew it onto the body. And this amigurumi donkey is done! Congratulations on making an adorable, cuddly companion. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and have found it helpful. If you make this amigurumi, I'd love to see how it turns out and to hear how it went. Just leave me a comment or you can reach out through my social channels. Links to the pattern and socials are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel and small business. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you in the next video.